I take this privilege to introduce our eminent and dynamic speaker, Dr. J. Arulvalan, who is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Nagaland, since 2013. He is having more than 20 years of experience in teaching. His area of interest is machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, and blockchain. He is also working as an adjunct faculty in St. John the Baptist University, Monkochi, Malawi. He is playing a role of chief investigator in the funded project titled Air Quality Monitoring System and Wearable Healthcare Monitoring System, which is funded by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology under the scheme of SMDP T2SE. Presently, he is functioning as a HOD of data center in NIT Nagaland. Earlier, he functioned as head of computer science and engineering department, associate dean, executive warden at NIT Nagaland. He organized a lot of AICT and TEQIP sponsored workshops and FDPs for the faculty benefit. He has given a speaker come trainer on the recent topics with hands-on in various reputed colleges and universities. He also published various papers in reputed journals. This is our privilege to have such a dynamic person as a speaker. I hand over this session to Dr. J. Arulvalan sir to continue this session. Please, sir.
So, thank you, Arun Kumar sir. Sir, am I audible properly?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Because, sir, Arun Kumar sir, your voice is little bit breaking. When my side it is breaking, I don't know about whether my end is issue or your end is issue, that I don't know. Further only whether my voice is clear.
Yes, sir, clear, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. Sir.
Yes, sir, your screen also visible.
My
sir.
screen is also visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon to one and all. So, first of all, I express my heartfelt thanks to the organizers of the Atal FDP program in RMK Engineering College for giving me an opportunity to part of this FDP program. So, I thanks to the organizers as well as the management. So, we will start our session. So, our session is machine learning in automotive sector. Okay. So, I think most of the faculty members are from the electrical and mechanical background. So, I think for them, some of them maybe it is watching as an Hindi movie. Maybe some of them may heard the term, or some of them they are first time they may heard the term machine learning and its application basis. Okay. Another thing is attending a session in the afternoon itself is very difficult, and it is some unrated session for attending means entirely it is a more difficult. Okay. So anyway, I will try to make it is a little bit interactive session level. Shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever we are talking or thinking about the machine learning in automotive sector means immediately the terms comes in our mind is self-driving car. Okay, nowadays in your related with in our automobile industry or automotive as well as the electrical based sector. So if you are a AI based or machine learning comes into your domain means, so the concept immediately the application is the self-driving car. So that is one of the very dominant application we have to use in that your automotive sector, that is completely AI as well as the machine learning based. Okay. So here today we will see I will discuss some of the machine learning concept. Some of the concept I will related with that in computer because I am computer background. So I will link with the computer based. So finally we will see some of the use cases in the automotive sector where we can use that machine learning algorithm. How the machine learning will play the role in that your automotive sector. Okay, the last we will see some of the use cases. So participants in between are not faculty members. So in between you have any doubts in my presentation, please stop me and clarify your doubts. So don't continue in the some the imagination field. So I will try to explain from the start from the basics only. Okay. So if you have any doubts or if you didn't understand the some of the terms properly, so please stop me and clarify your doubts.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Here you see why machine learning is more important generally. So before coming into the picture of why machine learning, what is the use of machine learning, how the machine learning will behave like that. First we will see the some general why machine learning is coming into the picture for the whether you are the electrical field or mechanical field. Nowadays you everywhere you may heard the term machine learning or deep learning, that data analytics is, because nowadays the research and our works are, it is not entirely purely mechanical based or electrical based. So nowadays in your most of the your electrical or mechanical work also you may use some of the optimization algorithm, fuzzy based, or you may use the ant colony based, some optimization techniques you are using. Sometimes you are using some of the one minute. Hello. இப்போ வந்துருக்கு சார். சரி சரி சரி. ஓகே ஓகே. Sir, don't annotate in the presentation, sir. Okay, somebody is requesting me to annotate in the presentation. So please organizers, please take care. So now you see the left hand side, I given one the statistics data. So this is the last year, that means the 1920. So how many cashback cars are sold in our top 10 India states wise? It is a state wide, it is the data is there. So you see the data, okay, it is some statistical data. So I downloaded one of the team-bhp.com from the site. So Gujarat, you see that most of the cars sold overall, total most car we sold in the hatchback car sold in the first city is the Gujarat, second is the Maharashtra. Okay, overall sales also, and individual model wise. So individual model wise also, so they given the some of the statistics. So the first of all you see the Gujarat in the most number of the car is that I-20. So under the Maharashtra it is a Baleno, like that over state the cars are there. Okay. So you see that you see the data. For example, you are the complete regional manager about the whole not regional, the whole the India. You are the whole the manager for the Maruti. Okay. So in the production unit, you have to distribute the cost. You have to distribute the cost to the individual states. We have to allot the cost to the individual state. You see the statistics. If you are seeing the statistics, the data. So for example, I-20. So you see the I-20 the car. For example, the I-20 car. So sorry, not only the Maruti. Overall, you are the whole the owner sees that. So in the I-20 car, the Gujarat is having the 1515, almost 15,000 cars are there in that I-20. Is correct. That is in the Hyundai. So in the same thing, you see that the Delhi. It is having the very less number of cars. That is a 3,000 cars. You see the Hyundai, the particular one model I-20. What if you want to allocate the car means after you are seeing the data, so we have to allocate the more particular model to that Gujarat, not only that Delhi. We should not allocate it individually, because some of the states they may prefer but particular one model they prefer more. Some of the states they prefer another one model is more. It is not like that. We should, for example, we produce some 100 cars, so we should not allocate the 10 cars to the individual state. So we have to use, or we have to handle, or we have to process according to the how much the sales is there. So if you want to do the sales analysis, if you want to do the sales analysis. For example, everybody we are running the business or running something, we have to earn, we have to make it is a more profit. So that kind of analysis, if it's a small data, for example, you have the huge number of data is there. We have the huge number of data is there. If you want to do this kind of analysis, we want to do this kind of association or this kind of analysis among the between the data means, so we have to need some machine learning. With the help of the machine learning only, we can able to do the analysis. So this is the one aspect. Another one thing, in the right hand side you see the one more database I am showing the data, the transactional data. So this is nothing but, so general concept only. So this is, you assume that you are having the one small shop, you are having the small tea shop. So this is the particular 1 hour, some 10 customers. So 10 customers, they visited your shop. So 10 customers, they visited your shop. You see the data, you see the 10 transaction, 10 people, they came your shop, they bought some of the items. I entered the items in a one data sheet. Okay. If you are seeing the item, can you able to interpret anything from the data? Participants, if you are seeing the table,
Sir, Arnolan, sir, all the participants are muted.
They cannot able to
only
unmute.
post message chat box.
They cannot able to unmute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All are muted. If you want, I can unmute all, sir. Shall I give permission to all?
Yes sir, yes sir, use unmute sir. Otherwise you see, it's boring la.
Okay, okay, right, sir. Right.
Make it is little bit interactive manner. Sir, you can put it in the chat box also. You can through chat box also.
Okay, I will unmute all, sir. No.
Okay. So Vasudeva sir mentioned that 6 transactions for T. If you are seeing the data, if you see the transaction data, what you can interpret from the data?
Sir, more people are asking for tea.
Most people are asking T. Very good. That is almost most of the transaction, almost all the transaction, they are having the T.
Irrespective of tea biscuit, they are asking for pen also.
Irrespective of?
Tea biscuit. You told that it is a tea shop, right?
Yes ma'am, it is a tea shop, it is a small tea shop.
That's what. See, addedly, you are having pen stationaries also like that.
Okay.
The demand of individual items also known by the seller.
Okay. Sir, you assume that, sir, you are the owner of the shop. You assume that you are the owner of the shop. What you will do, sir? After you are seeing the data, you assume that you are the owner of the particular shop. If after you are seeing this data, whether you will continue as it is or something we will do.
There is a demand for tea more when compared to other items, so that we will increase the content related to tea.
Excellent, sir. You see, after you are analyze the 10 transaction data, okay. So here you see, you are in the every place, depends upon the customers, the demand will be different. We cannot always keep it is the, everybody will like the same thing. It's correct. In the particular area, you are running the tea shop in one junction, in particular one city. In the particular place, the more people, they are more preferring tea comparing with the coffee. Some other place, they may prefer more coffee. You see, now I am in Nagaland. So here, their people, they will prefer more rice. Suppose in our coming to Chennai, we will prefer more idli, dosa like that. Is correct? So here nobody will prefer idli, dosa. Here mostly we will prefer rice. Suppose if you are planning a start on hotel in here means, if you are introduce variety of masala dosa, so many dosa, so many idlis, like that our South Indian meals, only our home people only we can take, we can eat. Okay. So because first thing is we have to identify the what is the customer demand in the particular place. So if you are seeing this transaction data, if you are seeing the transactional data, so out of the 10, most of the people they will prefer tea other than coffee. So everybody If you are running a firm, you have the suppose you have some own industry or you have the own business means our ultimate aim is we have to improve our business. We have to earn more money. That is our ultimate aim. Whatever our business, that is not a issue, but our ultimate aim is we have to earn more money. And what aspect will earn the more money? If you are more customers they visited, if you are sell more products, if you are selling more number of cars, if you are selling more number of machines, if you are selling more number of these kind of items, then only we can get more profit. So first thing is we have to identify the what is the customer's demand. So next day onwards, what I will do, I will introduce more flavor of tea. Maybe ginger tea, masala tea is correct. There are more flavor of tea is there because now the world is competitive world. You see earlier, 10 years back, you see that in our market, 25 years back, so we are having only the ambassador car will be there. Now you see the car industry. So much companies are there. So much in the sense, limited company only, but here how much models are having. Every car, every month they are releasing new models. So it is a competitive world. If a particular one company or if one particular industry, they want to withstand in the market. So they have to gain more profit means first they have to identify that what is the demand of the customers. Accordingly, we have to, because here suppose if I am keeping more number of coffee, then nobody will buy. Another one thing, so those who are preferring the first tea, second option they are going with the biscuit. If you see the transaction data, so those who are taking the tea, so their next option will be they are going for biscuit. So I have to keep more flavor of biscuit also. These kind of analysis we have to do. So here you see only the 10 transaction and the very small quantity of items. So what is the real scenario? You see the in supermarket. Okay, nowadays you see, suppose in the 10 years back in Chennai, we have only, for example, in the Sunday weekend, we will go to only the Saravana store in Ranganatha Street, because when I was Chennai in the year 90s, so that time in the holiday time, if you want to go to some shopping mall, we know only the Saravana store in the Ranganatha Street. Nowadays it is not like that. In Sumal Junction also, we have the big malls are there, big supermarkets are there. So if you want to attract the customers, if you want to keep the customers, we have to satisfy the customer. That is the first. What is the customer demand? Accordingly, we have to provide the supply. So supply chain management will be the very important. So these kind of analysis we can do with the help of the machine learning, because here it is only the limited data. Real thing, you see one supermarket, they are having more than 5,000 items will be there, and per day more than 1,000 customers will visit. It is not possible to manually analyze that which of the items they are mostly preferable, what are the items they are associated first of all, which item they taken, what is the next item they are preferring. It is not possible to analyze the data by manually. So we need some of the machine based solution, so that things only the machine learning is coming into the picture. So if you want to do some analysis against the data, or if you want to find the what is the relationship between the data, what is the correlations between the data, so these kind of things we can get it with the help of the machine learning or AI based approach. And below another one data, you see that the COVID-19 on data analysis, you see the table. So internally the values are little bit is the algorithm after I executed the algorithm I got the data. So okay, don't see the particular that value, you cannot able to interpret the value. You see nowadays people are saying that, so whenever you have the particular COVID disease, so those who are having the above 65 age people only there is a more chances, or people those who are having the above 70 years only there is a more chances for getting the people, or they are having some diabetes, or they have some heart issue, or the smokers. So these are the people only there is a chances for death casualty. So I want to do some analysis. What is the correlation? What is the death as well as what is the death? The people really those who are having above 65 they got more death, or above 75 whether they got more death, or especially the male smokers, or whether those who are having diabetes only there is more chances of death. Among all the values, I want to do some analysis. I want to do some the correlation among the values, that we can get it with the help of the machine learning. Have you understand the concept? Why the machine learning is coming into the picture? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, now you'll see that. So this is the one of the data I have taken from the net only. So what they are saying that in the future about the art, your industry will be, or your automate, the whatever the your industry completely will be the AI based. They are given the one statistics data. You see the CAGR rate. CAGR is nothing but the compound annual growth rate. It is more than 39.8%. It is higher. 39.8% it is higher. So because of that, the AI based. So hereafter complete your cons. You see nowadays also you can see more the new cars model, whatever the other new cars are coming. Most of the cars are embedded with a lot of AI based options are there. It is embedded with a lot of sensors are there. Lot of applications are there. You see the new cars, most of the applications are based on the AI based only. So another after 5 years, you see the after 5 years or 10 years back, almost all the applications are we have to embedded with the AI base, artificial intelligence only, based on everything based on the artificial intelligence base only. So definitely in the future will be like that. You see the factory also in the nowadays the recent factory version nowadays we are saying that industry 4.0. I hope you may heard the term industry 4.0. So industry 1.1 the concept started. What is that? Complete it is a mechanical based. Then industry 2.0 they are saying that it is a mass production 2.0. I think you may know better than me this kind of what is the industry 1.0 and 2.0. But now you see now the latest industry your process automation is the industry 4.0. So industry 4.0 means it is IoT integration. IoT integration means we are automatically all the machines are integrated with IoTs. For example, you no need to go to the your industry. From the home itself, in your mobile, you can able to monitor and control all your machines. Your machine, you may invest, for example, you are your home. Your industry may be in some other city. It may be 1,000 kilometer or 2,000 kilometer away. From your home itself, you can able to completely control and monitor all the equipments, how the equipments are behaving, whether it is any error is there, any deviation is there. So everything you can control and coordinate from your home itself. That is IoT based. That means what is the meaning of IoT means if any device if you can able to connect to the internet, that is we can call as the IoT. IoT in the sense it is a Internet of Things. Whatever the device, for example your mobile phone, if you are connect your mobile phone to the internet, it is an IoT. It is an IoT. Nowadays you can see smart car, smart home, so smart city, smart agriculture, smart traffic, smart city. Wherever we have to use the word smart, nowadays more smarts are there. Okay, so that means it is an IoT based. If it is a smart means it is an IoT based. Your industry also now the revolution, now the era is in that industry 4.0. That means a completely automation based. Okay. Now you will see the some another applications, some general application also. So everybody we are having some experience with the online shopping, whether you are the mechanical or whether you are electrical or electronics, whatever it may be. Everybody we are having the some experience with the online shopping. Okay. You see, so whenever we are want to find some items, so how we will know that? So if we will not directly order the items. Suppose if you want to plan to buy one mobile, okay, this month you are planning to buy a new mobile. How will you buy that new mobile? You will not directly. First you will go to the Amazon or Flipkart somewhere, whatever maybe the online shopping site. You will go to and see all the models. You see all the features feedback and all the ratings. Okay. After you are choosing everything only, finally you will go to give the order. If 2-3 days you are see that, 2-3 days you are searching the particular one product. Okay, your model, 2-3 days you are completely searching the some mobile model, but you didn't complete the order. So next time when we are logging to the particular node, have you noticed that, have you get any pop-up from that particular site? So definitely you will get some notification that, sir, today particular one model you have the some offer is there. So we are giving some 1,000 rupees discount or 2,000, this is the last product. So definitely we will get some notification through that. Suppose similarly, whenever you are planning to go some place, we will try to book a flight tickets. Okay, we will try to search up some flight tickets. For example, you are planning to visit from Chennai to Singapore. So you are keep on searching the place because it is a flight fare will be the dynamic fare. It is not a fixed fare. It is a dynamic fare. So whenever you are searching some 3-4 days, you are continuously searching some the flight fare. So after the one moment, so definitely you will get the notifications, some offer, some the notification from the particular own site. So that is the completely based on that your AI. That means they are store your searching history. They are store the searching history, how the particular one customer is searching, how your every click. They will store the every click, every searching behavior. From the searching behavior, they can able to get the data. Based on that, they may recommend you further. Okay. And you see, this is the another one. For example, this is some solar power. Okay, so this is some solar power. The solar power, if you have to generate the power, it has to generate the power, is correct. So that should be based on the how where demand. So that means, so your demand is more, your supply will be less. So we should know the what is the demand. What is the demand? From the demand from the demand value, how much demand is there. So that we have to get it with the help of the some of the machine learning algorithm. The machine learning model. So it will find that how much prediction, how much demand is there. We have to give the help of the whatever we have the data. With the help of the data, we can able to identify how much prediction, how much demand is there. Okay, so that also where also we can use the some of the machine learning based algorithms. So here now you can able to see what is the machine learning means. So machine learning is mainly used. Machine learning in the sense inside we are having the some algorithms are there. In the machine learning we are using some algorithms are there. With the help of the machine learning algorithms, we can able to find the some relationship or correlations or patterns or predictions from the huge amount of data. We have the data, whether it is a mission data or your sales data or your IoT data, whatever you have that is a huge, you have the some data is there. You have the some huge quantity of data is there. Okay. So from the data, you want to find the some association. You want to find the some correlations among the data means we have to use the some machine learning algorithm. For example, you want to your college, for example, you have the whole in your institute, someone is admissions is going on. Okay. So if you see the overall the whole Tamil Nadu, you have the whole database is there. So particular one college, their most number of students, they are preferring the particular one college. So some of the students, they are not preferring the particular one college. Some of the, so what is the reason behind that? Why, what is the association between that? So why we have to prefer more number of students? So these kind of analysis, if you want to do, means with the help of the machine learning, we can able to do. So that means we have the huge quantity of your input is data. Your input is a huge quantity of data. From the data, with the help of the machine learning, we can able to find some useful patterns or some useful knowledge from the data. So that will help to improve our prediction. So improve our prediction. You see earlier I told you, for example, one transaction data, you only told me that the tea, coffee are mostly they are preferring. Is correct. So I given the only the data. I given only the data. You see here. So the left hand side, so this is your data. This is the input data. So what association, what predictions you are getting, what is the useful information you are getting from the data? Most of the people, they are preferring tea. So nowhere the information is written, whether anywhere written, most of the people they are preferring, nowhere it is written. That value, you are giving one information. So most of the people, they are preferring the tea. That sentence, how you got the sentence? After you are analyze the whole all the data, you will get to an answer that most of the people they are prefer. So most of the people they are preferring. So this is the output of the machine learning. Your input is the data. I am giving this kind of data to the machine learning. So machine learning will give one output, that is a most of the people they are preferring tea. So automatically that sentence will help us to improve our business. So tomorrow onwards, next onwards, we have to keep more tea. So this is small data. So these kind of prediction or these kind of correlations, we can get it with the help of the huge quantity of data sets. So you see here, I am using some of the terms differently. So here I have to mention some of the terms, correlations, patterns, and knowledge. So data. So these are the terms I am keep on, so much of words I am using. First you have to make it is very clear that what is the really the terms. What is data? What is the data? What is information? What is knowledge? And what is intelligence and the pattern? You see, so our input is only data. Whether for example I have your missionary data, your last 1 month your complete your industry data is there, you have the mission data is there. So suppose wherever your faculty members you are specialized in the particular, you think you correlated with your discipline. Okay, generally I am talking, so you correlated with your discipline, then only you can able to easily understand. So if I have example, I have the some temperature data. I have the temperature data. So what is the data? You see data temperature equal to 10 degree. So another one is a temperature equal to 8 degree centigrade. Can you get any information from the useful from the data? Nothing is there. We don't know which is city temperature, what time temperature, nothing is there. Some value is there, temperature equal to 10 degrees centigrade. There is no meaning is there. We cannot able to interpret anything from this value. Is correct. So that is a real data. That is a there is a normally what is the data? You may had the some definition. It is a raw data means it is in the raw form. So there is a but it is a fact. It is a somewhere there is a temperature value in some city. It is a 10 degree. So here you see. So now this is that particular one. We can say it is a data. So we can say it is a data. If you are adding some meaningful to the data, we can say it is a context. If you are adding some meaningful to the data, we can say it is a context. You see, 1/12/2019, Delhi temperature equal to 10 degree at 11 a.m. So now you see, we are getting some information. We are getting some meaning. We are getting some meaning from the data. That is normally we call as the data. So what is the knowledge? So you see the Delhi first day temperature 10 degree. 10th day temperature is 8 degree. So generally after you are seeing these two data, so it is not, here I am representing two data, but it is a more huge quantity of data will be there. I have to get some knowledge. So that means the month of December, Delhi temperature will be very low. How I get the data? So that value based on the some rule. That means if the temperature is, for example, above 25 degree, we can say it is a hot. Less than 25 degree, we can say it is a cold. Everybody we know that, sir, today is very cold. Then definitely the temperature will be very less. You see that Chennai in the May month, the temperature will be about 35-40 degrees. So we cannot able to sit. Is correct. So that means that is a very hot. That means the temperature is above some 35 or 30 degrees centigrade. So according to the rule based, we are getting the knowledge. According to the rule based, we are getting the some knowledge. So then, what is intelligence? What is intelligence? So intelligence in the sense we are applying some sense. Intelligence means we are applying some sense. So what is the meaning of that one? You see, you are planning, for example, you are planning to visit Delhi. You are planning to visit Delhi in the month of December. So definitely nobody will tell that, sir, you have to take the jacket. So after you are seeing the data, you are applying your sense. So you have to bring jackets or sweaters, some canvas, something that. Okay. So that is the intelligence. So what is the pattern in the sense? Patterns means, sir, 1 minute. Have you joined it? Okay. Wait. So what is pattern in the sense? Some the relation between the sequence of event. You see, so whenever we will buy the mobile, whenever we are planning to buy a mobile, so our next option we will buy the, for example, either mobile cover or scratch card. For example, when you are have the car showroom, you are the car showroom. Whenever the people they are buying the car, immediately they will go to some stereo system or they have the some seat cover, some additional equipment they will buy. So without the car, though, nobody will buy the seat cover, nobody will buy the interior and things. Is correct. So without the mobile, nobody will buy the scratch card under the mobile cover. So here, what is the thing is that means some both are separate. Both the events are separate, but among the events, some relation is there. Among these two events, some relation is there, some association is there. So that is normally we called as the pattern. Now I hope you can able to make it clear that what is that terms are, what is data, what is intelligence, what is knowledge and pattern. So in our input, whether your automobile industry or whether your whatever your industry, wherever your source is there, in your hand you have the data. We are giving the data only to the machine learning. We are giving the data only to the machine learning, but our output is we have to get the patterns or we are getting the intelligence. How you are getting or how you are getting the intelligence or pattern from that means with the help of the machine learning. With the help of the machine learning only we are getting this kind of information. So input is the data, output is some useful values. Okay. So you see here, whenever we are talking about the machine learning, so already I told you, so everything is comes from the root is the artificial intelligence. So the root of that umbrella, the concept where we coined or derived the term coin machine learning is, it comes from the word artificial intelligence. That means the AI. The word intelligence is normally related to the human being because we are having the brain. We are have the, with the help of the brain, we can able to think, we can able to reasoning, we can able to analyze, we can able to take some decision because we have the brain is there. But what about generally you see the machine doesn't have the brain. That means machine cannot able to think, machine cannot able to take any decision, machine cannot able to, because it doesn't have the brain. But we can able to create a machine, we can able to create a machine with the help of some concept. We can, that means if with that human adding to brain also we can able to create a one machine that will also act as a human being. That will also act as a human being. That is artificially we are creating the machine. So that is artificial intelligence. So if you want to create a machine that will act as a human being, that will act as a human being, that means the machine can able to think, the machine can able to analyze, the machine can able to take the decision. So that is the output of the AI. If we want to do these kind of activities, if we want to expect this kind of output from the machine means, first we have to make, we have to Sunil Kumar sir. Okay. So, if you want to make a machine to learn or machine to able to understand or take some decision is, first we have to make the machine to learn, is correct. So that only we have to use some of the algorithms, that is a machine learning algorithm. In the machine learning, we have to use n number of algorithms are there. With the help of the algorithms, we can able to make a machine to learn. So here, more algorithms are there. So one of the categories of the algorithms is neural network based algorithm. The machine learning, if has the one category, that category is the neural network based algorithms. If we are using exclusively neural network based algorithm, then that is comes under the deep learning. So deep learning also one of the subset of the machine learning. Now you see the hierarchical, deep learning is nothing but it is a subset of the machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but it is a subset of the AI. So everything comes under the AI only. And the AI I given the one slash is the cognitive intelligence. You see here the right hand side I am giving the two application. One is the email filter. One is the email filter. So everybody we are having the one email account, is correct. Everybody we are having that email account. Whether you are having that Gmail account or whether you are having the Yahoo account, whatever it may be. So definitely you may be having that one mail account. One mail account is there. So daily we are getting frequent of mails. So most of the mails are going to the inbox, and you have one more folder is a spam folder or trash folder. Some of the mail is going to your spam folder. Who is doing that? We are not segregating the mails. We are not segregating the mails. Whatever we are receiving the mails, the mail itself automatically goes to the, some of the mail goes to the inbox, and the most of the mails goes to the inbox, and the some of the mail goes to the your spam folder. So that is automatically. So we are not doing anything. So internally some of the filtering or some of the AI based approaches are there. With the help of that only the mails are segregated. And the right hand side one more application is there. So anybody have you used that application? Right hand side I am giving that some 1 rupee coin, one blue color and the yellow color small thing is there. So what is that? Anybody? So the next to the email filter, that is the logo of the one app.
Google Assistant, sir.
Very good, sir. It is a Google Assistant. Arun Kumar, sir. It is a Google Assistant. Okay. So I think most of them we are using. Everybody in our mobile, whether you are electrical or mechanical, definitely we may have some of the basic apps in. Definitely will be there. It is a Google Assistant. So for example, if you want to go to, for example, you are planning to visit Delhi or somewhere new place. So first time you are going there, you don't know anything about the where the hotels, where the good hotels are there. So you imagine that once you landed at the airport, you may ask the Google Assistant. You will ask the Google Assistant. So what are the good hotels are there nearby the particular city? Okay. So near the airport, what are the good hotels are there? Okay. So immediately the Google Assistant will suggest some of the hotels. Some of the hotels. So among the hotels, so who will take maybe based on the ratings or based on the user feedback, the Google Assistant will some of the hotels. But maybe 10 or 20 list it will list. But who will take the decision? Our human being. Whether we will go with the first option or second option. Sometimes we may not choose any one of the things. We may go with some other option also. So that means Your first will ask the machine, your application, that is a machine, it will apply some algorithm to give the output. But the decision is taken by the human intelligence. That means that here we are using combining the machine intelligence with the human intelligence. That concept comes under the cognitive intelligence. You see, in the related in the next to the AI, I mentioned one more time also cognitive intelligence. Cognitive science means our human psychology, our human intervention should be also required. So in the first application, the email spam filter, it is purely AI based because there is no human intervention, is nothing is there. So everything is automatic. Whenever you are receiving the mails, so the mails are going to the inbox and some of the mails are going to spam. Automatically it is segregating. But you see the next app. So first you are depending the machine. We are asking the machine intelligence to suggest some of the hotels. So next you are applying, we are giving our human input to get the output. So this comes under the cognitive intelligence. So this part leave is data science and others. It is now not required. We'll see that. So whenever you are talking about the machine learning, with the help of the machine learning, we can able to get it the some 4 kinds of analytics. Whenever we are using the machine learning against some problems, so we can use, there are 4 categories of analytics we can use to, with the help of the machine learning. What are the things means? One is the descriptive analytics, normally we called. So another one is we can call it is a diagnostic analytics. So another one is the predictive analytics, another one is the prescriptive analytics. So for example, you are having the one small sales, you are doing the some business, okay. So what is the descriptive analytics normally will do means in the sense is, suppose the last year your business got a 2 lakhs loss, okay. That means you have to ask the what happened to my business, what happened to my business. So that is a descriptive analytics. So diagnostic in the sense, why did it happen? Maybe due to the some of the new company, new shops may be opened your shops. Due to that, your shop may be getting your sales may be getting down. So that kind of analytics, diagnostics. So predictive analytics in the sense, if it is goes like that, what will happen in the future? So our machine learning will play more than 90% of our works comes under the predictive analytics. So with we have the present data. That means I have the 2019 or 20 data. With the help of that, I want to know about that. What about my sales of in the year 2022 or 23? So that is, we have to get it with the help of the machine learning based model, that is a predictive analytics. So prescriptive analytics. Another one is a prescriptive analytics. So what is the meaning of the prescriptive analytics in the sense? Suppose if your business is getting down, for last 2 years your business dull. So if you want to improve the business, what courses of action you have to take? What courses of action you have to take to improve your business? So that comes under the prescriptive analytics. So the normally these are the analytics types of that. Analytics will be there. So you see the same problem, same the 4 kinds of analytics we can link with some of the electric production, your solar wind production problem is there. Suppose every year we have to production the things. Last year your production got very less, very down. Your production got very down. Okay. So we may not able to product, your production is dull. Whether your industry also, your production is dull. So what happened? Why your production is loss? So that is a, if you answer, if you, your analytics will be the what happened, then it will be the descriptive. So diagnostic. So why this happening? Why this happening? Due to the some fault or the some customer is not satisfied. So due to some reasons, so it is your sales got down. Okay, that is why it happened. If it is goes like that, what will happen in the future? So that is a supply and demand. So that is. So if you want to increase the demand, so what type of courses action, or if you want to increase the supply, so what type of courses of action we have to take? So that comes under the prescriptive. So whatever your problems are there, we can take the problem in that 4 analytics basis. So these are the some of the applications or the real time you can able to use in our daily life also. Okay. So machine intelligence is nothing but it is not like that. Don't think about something immense. So these are the app we are using in our part of the daily mobile. So we are using mobile. In our mobile we have the store your password as a pattern. So pattern recognition will be there. So that app is belongs to the some pattern recognition will be there. We are mobile, some of the laptop or mobile we have to use your voice as a password. That means the voice recognition system. Your Google Map, okay, your Alexa, your online shopping, that provides some recommender system. You are playing some online game, for example the online chess game. So similarly, the Google, similarly, so much of application we have to say that. So all the applications, that is, it is comes under the machine intelligence, knowingly or unknowingly. So we are also part of the some of the machine learning based applications we are using in our life. So now you see really what is actually machine learning. I told you what is the
मेरे
real.
बैग में आज मुझे
Hello?
एक 5 स्टार मिली। वो किसने दी थी उस दिन मैडम को 5 स्टार? रामा।
Sorry, sir. Arulvalan, sir.
No issue, no issue, sir, no issue, sir. Okay. So what is actually the machine learning? Already I told you. So we can able to make a machine to learn. Okay, we can able to make a machine to learn. Okay. So a human being. So we can able to learn with the help of we have the human brain. For example, suppose I ask one faculty, sir, what is your favorite subject? So somebody or mechanical, you may say that the engineering mechanics, or some electrical faculty, they may say that I am the power system. It's correct. So that means if you are saying that, some I am expert in power system, or I am expert with the, for example, engineering mechanics, some mechanical subject. So if you are saying that, if you are expert in particular one subject means, so definitely you should handle the particular subject minimum 4 or 5 years, or at least 4-5 semester you handle the subject, then only you can say that, sir, I am an expert in the particular subject. Is it correct? If I ask any among the faculty members, so definitely everybody should be familiar with any one of the subject. So how you get the familiarization in the particular subject? So you handle the subject more number of years. You handle the subject more number of semesters. So if you are handling particular one more number of semester, automatically we can able to get that more experience in the particular subject. It's correct. That means you are converting your experience into expertise. What is the meaning of normally learning means? So learning is nothing but you are converting your experience, your 3-4 years experience is you are converting into expertise. You see the learning, normally the word learning will comes into the driving license. Okay, whenever learning license will be there. What it actually mean? Whenever if you want to know, initially I don't know about the car driving. Okay, if you want to get the driving license, we have to go to the any one of the driving school. We have to go to the any one of the driving school. So you see that first day we don't know anything about that one. What is a steering? What is a brake, clutch? Nothing will be in there. So next to that our driver, that one instructor will be there. The driving school instructor will be there. You see the first 2-3 days our car is not in our control. So completely that instructor, he will only take care of everything. Anyway, we are sitting in the driver's seat only. So completely controlled in that particular instructor, particular person hand only. So 3-4 days, 1 week later or 2 weeks later, little bit will be controlled in the steering, then clutch, everything. So after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months, we will be the expert in the driving. So initially we are nothing. We are learning 1 week learning, 1 month learning, 2 month learning. After 6 months learning, we can say that, sir, I am the expert driver. That means you are converting your experience into expertise. So that is in a human being with learning. But what about a machine? Machine doesn't can able to learn because we are having the experience, because we have the intelligence is there. With the help of the intelligence, we can able to learn. But a machine doesn't have the brain. So machine cannot able to learn. But machine can also learn not only from the experience but the data. That means, so we have to give the machine to the past some data. For example, sir, in our class, for example, one student he is studying in that final year. He is studying the final year. So if you want to predict that, for example, he is studying in the 8th semester. You assume that he is studying in the 8th semester. So we want to predict that how much he may score in the 8th semester, how much percentage he will score in the 8th semester. We cannot say blindly. It's correct. Somebody if you ask me, sir, how much he will score in the end semester means, we cannot able to say the answer. So we need how much he scored in the 7th semester, how much he scored in the 6th semester is correct. So according to the past 3-4 years data, last 7th semester data, okay, first semester he may score 70, second semester 75, third semester 73. So if you score if you are seeing all the 7th semester data, then we can able to say that, okay, he may scored at least 74 or 75. That value also we can able to say with the help of the past data. For example, suppose I want to predict, sir, what will be the tomorrow temperature in Chennai. Suppose somebody is asking that, what will be the tomorrow temperature in Chennai? So without the knowing the last 1 week temperature, I cannot able to say, sir, what will be the tomorrow temperature. We are not the astrologer. Definitely we need some reference. Without reference, we cannot able to say some answer. Correct? So that reference is the past data. If you see the last data, last 1 week or last 1 month, last 1 year data. For example, you have some automotive industries there. So this year, how much sales will be there? For that, you have to analyze all the factor. So what is our earlier sales will be there? What are some other factors will be there? Accordingly, you see all the other data only, you can able to predict the future. That means, if you want to make predicting future, we need the past data. We need the past data. So we can give the past data to the machine. We have to give the past data to the machine. The machine will understand. Machine will go through all the past data. According to the machine can approximately project this will be the predicted output. So this will be the predicted output. So the machine, we are learning from experience, but the machine is learning with the help of the data. So you see that diagram only. The word learn from experience. Instead of that, I cut the word, I put the word data.
And
You
today
see, I will tell one simple, another one simple real example. Suppose you are standing there, you are
share the
standing,
location.
okay. You are seeing somewhere places. At that, your known friend is there. You are very close, your friend is there. He is calling by your name. He is calling by your name. So without turning your head, you can able to identify that who is the particular fellow. Suppose I am calling first time. I am calling first time. I am calling first time by your name. So definitely you cannot able to recognize. So immediately you turn your head and say that who is the particular person. If you are hearing the voice, already known voice means without turning your head, you can able to identify that who is the particular person. But if you are knowing one word, first time you are hearing the particular voice, so definitely you cannot able to say that who is the fellow. So definitely you have to turn your head and say that, so this is the X. Then definitely you may ask, who are you? Okay, because first time you are seeing, first time you are hearing the word. How this thing happening? How we can able to recognize the word? Anybody? Any idea?
Sorry, sir, we can't.
No idea. Can't listen, you didn't hear or
Can't answer.
actually that is based on our brain, ma'am. Our brain having the neurons. So because of that only one time you had the neural networks. Nowadays, most of the problem you may had the term deep learning. You may had the term deep learning, that is a neural network. Neural network is one of the very dominant area nowadays we are using in the most of the application. The concept neural network is based on our neurons, based on the how the functions of our neurons. So we are recognizing the particular words based on our neurons concept only. Based on the, with the help of the neurons only, we are able to identifying the things. Okay. And here another one thing. The last I given one word, IBM Deep Blue. Anybody heard the term?
No,
Anybody
sir.
heard
No,
the
sir.
term IBM Deep Blue?
No, sir. We didn't hear this.
We didn't hear the term. Anybody? It is one familiarized. Those who are very good in the some kind of quiz kind of competition, some competitive exam preparation, they may know the term IBM Deep Blue.
Sir, Divyesh.
What, sir?
Divyesh, drop a message in chat box, sir. Chess.
You typed. Very good, sir. Divesh. So you answered it is a chess game. So it is a one online chess game. So it is a online chess game. So what is the beauty of the game? Correct, sir. Your answer is correct. IBM Deep Blue It is a one online chess game developed by IBM. The game is developed by IBM. But one significance is there in the particular game.
No?
No idea. Actually, what is that beauty means? So in the game,
Actually,
what sir?
it beat the world chess champion, I think, in
Sir,
1997.
excellent, sir, excellent. So this is the game that beaten the world chess champion Garry Kasparov. Not now, in the year 1996. So now you think about that. The 1996, IBM developed one online chess game. IBM developed one online chess game. The name of the chess game is IBM Deep Blue. So the importance of the game is the game that beaten not only normal person, the world chess champion. So now you think about the machine power. Now you think about the machine intelligence. Even though that game also developed by human being brain only, but the machine intelligence can overtake the human intelligence. So after that only we can, now you see that the power of the machine intelligence. Okay. So with the help of the machine learning, whatever I told you, so we can able to find the correlation, or we can able to find the any outlier or anomaly detection. So these kind of things we can get it with the help of the machine learning. You see, so this is the another one example. So this is that another one example. So nowadays, everywhere we are struggling with the COVID. Everybody we are struggling with the COVID. It's correct. Last almost more than 2 years, completely our life is completely struggled because of the COVID, because of the corona. You see here, if they are having the COVID means, we can able to say we have seen the two symptoms are there. One is the fever, another one is the respiration. We are saying that one is the respiration, another one is the fever. So here I have said some IoT setup. So the left hand side is the IoT setup. That means a person. The person is somewhere else. Okay, we have to build with the two sensor. One is the respiration sensor, another one is a temperature sensor. I am using two sensor. One is a respiration sensor, another one is a temperature sensor. I think some temperature sensor may be deleted. Okay, one more sensor, two sensor. So temperature sensor, another one is a respiration sensor. So I read the data. I am reading the data. Temperature value as well as the respiration, because now the people they are saying that those who are having the heavy fever, as well as those who are having that more breathing issues, those who are having the more breathing issues, and those who are having the heavy fever, so that people only they are getting the COVID positive. So nowadays, without the symptom also we are getting the COVID. That is secondary. So generally we are saying that those who are having the breathing as well as those who are having the fever, they have the chances for the COVID. Okay. So now I am reading the data. So x-axis I am plot the values of fever. Y-axis I am plotting the value of the respiration. So according to that values, those who are having the high fever and high respiration, so they are given as a COVID positive. I marked the circle and colored the person as a green color. So we identified they are the COVID positive. And some of the people, you see, so their values are very less. So your fever also very less, respiration also very less. So here, if those who are both the values are less, we can say that they are the COVID negative. So there is no issue. I marked I identified, I formed one more group, they are the COVID negative. So those who are having fever value low, similarly respiration value also low. Now you see in between one guy is the value, it is B. So that person B, his value fever also in between low and high, similarly respiration also in between low and high. So what decision we have to take? Whether we have to consider the particular person either COVID positive or COVID negative, because it is a more sensitive data, it is a more sensitive decision we have to take. We cannot take our own positive or negative. Okay. So here I have to use some machine learning algorithm in this application. So I am using machine learning. Now you see that how the machine learning is coming into the picture. So here I am using one simple machine learning algorithm. It's a KNN. K nearest neighbor. It is one of the very simple machine learning algorithm. So from the point particular B, I identified that who are the nearest people, who are the k nearest people. The word k means normally it is an odd number. Value of the k will be mostly it will be the odd number. The value of the k will be odd number. That means either 3 or 5 or 7 or 9. Okay. So according to here I am choosing the value k value 5. I am choosing the value k value will be the 5. So from the point B I am identifying that who are the 5 nearest people. Who are the 5 nearest people. Then I identified the 5 nearest people. Then I formed the circle. So you see in the circle 4 people belongs to the green color and only one guy belongs to the red color. So I am going with the majority voting. I am going with the majority voting. For taking the decision with the majority voting only, we are choosing the value of k should be always the number of odd. So in that reason only we are choosing the value of k will be always in odd. So now you see, now here we can consider the person B belongs to the COVID positive. So now how the machine learning, with the help of the machine learning, we can able to identify particular some applications. Here another one data also I am mentioning that you see that the light blue color. So I have here I represented as outlier, because whenever we gathered the data, sometimes the data may be having some noise. 1 minute. The data may be having some noise. It's correct. Hello. Soundarajan sir. Okay. Because the sensor may be having defective, the sensor may not having the proper contact with the person. Due to some reason, there is some error might be there. There may be some error may be there. For example, I want to identify. For example, I want to know about the particular student one mark. So, okay, all the student mark will be 0 to 100. One student mark will be, so for example, 700. So that means that data is not a correct. It's correct. Maybe typo error, because of this, instead of 70 he may ended as a, by mistake he entered as a 700. So here the data is the error data. It is not a correct data. So that data is normally called as outlier. So outlier means whenever we see the data, sometimes the data may be highly deviated. Sometimes you can see that the data may be highly deviated. So it is not the part of, it is not the related to the existing data set. The data may be highly deviated. The data is a highly deviated data. So that data is normally called as the outlier. That data is normally called as the outlier. Okay. So that outlier also we got, because whenever we are doing some analysis, because our input is data. So our input is the data. With the help of the, already told you for the machine learning, our input is data. So we are going to do work with the data only. So if your data is wrong, complete your process will be wrong. Complete your data will be wrong. So we cannot able to get the proper result. So that only before you are processing that thing, we got to make it is very sure that my data is a pakka data. My data is a pakka data. Okay. So that also, that outlier also we can identify with the help of lot of algorithms are there. One simple method is we can say it is IQR. IQR is the one simple method we can use to find the IQR value. So here now you see that what are the various types of machine learning normally used. Okay, what are the various types of machine learning normally used. So whenever there are the 3 categories of machine learning, when we are talking about the machine learning, there are 3 categories of machine learning will be there. There are 3 categories of machine learning will be there. So one is we can call it the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, another one is a reinforcement learning. So what is the meaning of the supervised and super? Just I will not take it is a more time to, no need to go more deeply in the thing. Okay. So what is a supervised learning means? Supervised. The word supervised in the sense we can able to get it. So whenever we are doing PhD, we need one supervisor. Correct? So without supervisor, we cannot able to register. Without supervisor, we cannot able to complete the PhD. Is correct? So supervisor. With the help of the supervisor only, we are proceeding. With the help of the supervisor only, we are completing the PhD. So similarly, you are learning with the help of the supervisor. That means with the help here the role of supervisor is some labeled data. Labeled data means, for example, last 5 year data. I have the last 5 year data. So with the help of the 5-year data, that data only, for example, I will tell one simple application. For example, whenever you are going to a bank loan, you want to ask some bank loan means, so the bank loan, they will ask a lot of questions, whether you have the, whether you have a government job, whether your spouse is working, whether you have the asset is there. So they will ask a lot of questions. Based on your data, finally they will sanction or reject. So they will sanction or reject. Okay. So I am taking last 5-year data. I am taking the last 5-year bank loan data. So in the last 5-year data, maybe some 1,000 applications are there. Last 5 years in the bank, 1,000 applications are there. So in the 1,000 applications, so 500, maybe 700 applications they may rejected. Only 300 application only may be sanctioned. So I have the last 1,000 application with the result also there. So I fed all the data. That means all the combination. Maybe government and some asset, some value will be there, and salary, some value will be there. So much of parameters, all the values will be there. So 1,000 data value will be there. So I entered 1,000 data to the sum of the machine learning algorithm. I build one model. I build a model. Okay. So whenever a new application we will submit, your new application, the model, that means that with the help of the machine learning model, the model will say that, so your application is sanctioned or rejected. How it will say that? Based on the past data. Based on the past data. So that because the machine learned with the help of the past data, here the past data is the supervisor. So that type of learning problem we can call as the supervisor learning problem. So that problem, now there are categories, the two categories. One is the regression problem, another one is the classification problem. So what is the major difference between the regression and the classification means? So when we are predicting the future, your prediction will be continuous. For example, so what will be the stock, particular one stock product, stock market exchange you want to predict. So you want to predict the stock value of the particular one product. The stock value will be morning 10 o'clock one value, 11 o'clock one value, 12 o'clock, every 24 hours, maybe every hour, I don't know exactly, maybe every seconds or every minutes, the value will be changed. So that means particular one product, the value will be continuous value. The value will be there. So continuous value. So that is when we are predicting the continuous value, that will be the regression problem. So when we are predicting that discrete value, so that problem normally we call as the classification problem. That problem we can call as the classification problem. Whether you have the COVID positive or negative, whether your machine is running fail or whether it will be success. So whenever your output is, your prediction result will be discrete, means that problem called as the classification problem. Whenever you are predicting the continuous, that is a regression problem. There are, you see, same problem. So whether student will pass or fail, that problem is the classification problem, because discrete value, how much percentage he will score. So here the value may be 5%, 10%. The value is continuous, 70, 71, 72, 72.5. So that problem is, we can call it as a regression. The same problem. That means a student the result analysis. Student result analysis is your problem. The same problem we can consider as a regression problem also, or we can consider as a classification problem also, based on the what is your predicted output. Whether your output is a discrete or whether output is the continuous output. So another application is the unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning means there is no need for the supervised data, unsupervised. For example, today we are conducting the program. So here 80, some 100 participants you are attending. So I want to categorize how many faculty from ECE, how many faculty from electrical, how many faculty from mechanical. This is my task. I want to categorize that participants according to their branch wise, according to their discipline wise. So for the task, I don't need the past data. It's correct. I don't need the past data. From your data only, I will see. So what is your discipline, or what is your branch? What is your discipline, or what is your branch? Okay. So according to that data, I can automatically categorize the value, whether it will be the mechanical or electrical or civil. So no need for the reference data. So this kind of task comes under the unsupervised. One application is the clustering. So many things are there: clustering, recommender system, association analysis, similarly anomaly detection, anomaly in the sense outlier detection, and dimensionality reduction. So this kind of task, dimensionality in the sense that your attributes, your features, we got to reduce the features, that we'll see later. So this comes under the unsupervised learning problem. So another one is the reinforcement learning. Another thing is the reinforcement learning. So this is, we can call this a reward based learning, or learning from mistakes, or feedback based learning, or dynamic learning. So these kind of things we can see. Okay. You see here I am two problem we are giving. So one is related to the your industry's self-driving car. So another one is a chess game. Another one is a chess game. You see. So both are, so whenever we are playing the chess game, so always we will not take the same moves. Okay, first you will see the board. First you will see the board, and every coin, some rules will be there. Your rook will be some move. Your bishop will be some move. Your pawn will be some move. Your queen will be some rule will be there. According to the rule, we have to place the coin. So initially your board is empty. So you see the opponent how he is moving. According to the opponent, you may place the coin. Your movement is, it's not static. You cannot always take the particular coin, and you cannot always place the coin in the one position. You see the how the opponent is behaving. How the opponent is behaving, accordingly your movement will be there. So that means based on the opponent, you have to see the environment. See the environment, accordingly you have to take one action. Okay, then if you are taking the action, immediately you will get the reward. Sometimes you place the coin in the wrong position, then your coin may be beaten by the opponent. Or sometimes you have to place, you have to take the right movements, you may beat the coin, opponent coin. Or in the particular movement, you may not get the proper immediate reward. The reward may be later. That means after the sum of the accumulative moves, you may get the sum of the reward. It's correct. So that is that type of learning you called as the reinforcement learning. You see the self-driving car, the car is embedded with more number of sensor. It is embedded with, it will read the sensor signal. It will not take always the same decision. It will not take always the same decision. Depends upon the environment. Depends upon the how the data receives through the sensor. According to the sensor data only, your activators will take some decision. Your activators will take some actions. So that is concept comes under the reinforcement learning. So your machine learning based applications, whatever the applications are there, normally we classified the application based on either it may be a reinforcement learning, or it may be the unsupervised learning, or it may be the supervised learning. Depends upon your problem. Depends upon what is your objective, what is your problem. Based on that, you have to choose that any one of the learning and any one of the learning algorithms. So here you can able to see that what is that algorithms are there. Okay, you see that the machine learning algorithms. Now you are in the start. So now you are in the start. Okay. So suppose you see that you have your problem, whether your problem is a classification problem, or whether your problem is a regression problem. So before that, first you have to decide that whether your problem is a supervised problem, or whether your problem is an unsupervised learning problem. Okay. So accordingly you have to take the direction. Accordingly you have to take the direction, and accordingly so many I have to choose, and some of the algorithms are there. I have to choose, and so much of algorithms are there. You see now you are in the start. First, dimension reduction. Dimension is nothing but the features. Dimension is nothing but the features. For example, you have the industry. Your industry, you have the production data will be there. Sales data will be there. Marketing data will be there. You see, you have the so much of data will be there. Suppose if you want to do only the sales analysis, your task is sales analysis. In that situation, you don't want the marketing, you don't want the production data. So particular one data, that data normally we call as the dimension. Dimension is nothing but the features. Dimension is nothing but the features. So if you want to do any features reduction techniques, then you have to go with some unsupervised learning. Some algorithms are there, principal component analysis, singular value decomposition, linear discriminant analysis. So these are the algorithms we can use that can use to do the dimension reduction techniques. Suppose that is okay. After that, whether you have the response in the sense last class label. So your data set having the class label. Class label means for example COVID data set, whether it is a pass or fail. Data set is having such a class label means accordingly we have to choose. If you are having the class label, then it is a supervised learning problem. Then the supervised learning, whether your prediction is continuous prediction or discrete prediction. If it is a continuous prediction, you go with a supervised learning problem. If it is a discrete prediction, you go with a regression problem. Suppose your data set is there is no class label, then your work is comes under the where it is a unsupervised learning. Then your work is comes under the unsupervised learning. Okay. So this is the way we can able to proceed with the help of this chart. And suppose you have the some problem, some problem is there, you have to choose the one machine learning algorithm. You have to choose the one machine learning algorithm. How to choose the best machine learning algorithm? So there are n number of algorithms are there. There are n number of algorithms there. What is your data? What is your data? First you see the what is the type of your data. Whether your data is having that categorical data or whether your data is a numerical data. You see Navy base is the one of the machine learning algorithm. Okay, so that will works on the categorical and numerical data. So random forest is the one type of algorithm that will works in the categorical data. So SVM, support vector machine, so that will be very good for the numerical data. Similarly, what is the nature of your problem? Whether your problem is a continuous prediction or categorical prediction or some dynamic decision. So we have to choose regression, classification or reinforcement learning. So whether how much speed, whether you want to complete the task very quickly, accordingly you have to chase. Then you have the data set, whether your data set is a small data set or whether your data set is a huge data set. So accordingly, we have to choose that particular algorithm. So we cannot able to choose any algorithm, depends upon what is your data set, what is type of problem is there, what is your expected output. Accordingly only you have to choose that any one of the machine learning algorithm. So these are the some of the applications of the machine learning algorithm. Okay. So participants, do you have any doubts so far in my presentation? Hello.
Sir, actually, you are telling the work that is outline about, correct, sir? These are outline
Yes,
about
ma'am.
all the machine learning.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
possible to show some related to automobiles using MATLAB or some other?
When you are taking the data set, whether that is what I told you, whether your data set is a direct data, some IoT data or machine generated data. So you have the some data somewhere, you have getting the some data. Okay, your machine, your automobile industry, you are having some the data set is there la. So if in the data set, if your value is not related, one data is not related with the other data, means that we can call say it is outlier. So that algorithm, outlier analysis, some algorithms are there, ma'am. Some important one is isolation local outlier factor, we can call it say LOF. Another one is the isolation forest. These two are the some important outlier algorithm. So you have to use this algorithm against your data set. The data set will tell that any outlier is there. So that will internally it will do some processing is there, some method is there. The algorithm that will identify that whether your data set is having any outlier is there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. So much algorithms are there, man. You can, hello.
Sir, I want to ask one thing. Sir, in automobile, can you show one example where you have applied a machine learning technique so that suppose in exhaust emission there will be temperature data set. So
Okay.
accordingly, what particulate matters it is
Sir,
emitting?
here you see, sir, I am having some of the use cases. I am having the some of the finally I am having the some of the use cases of the your automobile industry is there. Okay.
Okay.
You see any problem is related to that problem, or after the end of the discussion you will ask whether I have pointed your problem is there or that I don't know exactly. So after that you have to see that. You have to see whether we can able to how we can able to use that machine learning problem in the automobile industry. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
So any doubt is there? So another one important thing, sir. Why now you see now the time is almost 3:20. So our session is up to 3:30. Whether can I complete within 3:30 or shall we take another 5 to 10 minutes? Because still some more points we have to discuss. It depends upon your convenience. If I want to be fast also will go, or we have to skip that some of the parts will go to the last also.
You can take, sir. You can take 5 or 10 minutes means you can take, sir.
No issue, because your convenience is more important.
Yes, sir. No problem.
No problem. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So participants, how the sessions are going, whether you are understanding something, because most of the people maybe mechanical and electrical means you cannot able to, anyway I will try to make it is some basics level only. I didn't use any more technical terms. Okay, sir. So already I told you, you see, so important application of the machine learning is a predictive analytics. Mostly predictive means in the word in the sense predicting the future. Suppose you are running the industry, what will be the happen in the future? Your machine one product is there. So whether it will succeed. Suppose whether the machine will succeed. You are taking the data, the machine having the, it will show some of the error is there. If you retain the error for a long time, whether it will gives the more loss to the particular machine. So these kind of prediction, okay, we can do with the help of the machine learning. So important algorithm, that important concept in the machine learning is the predictive analytics. The word prediction in the sense predicting the future. We don't know tomorrow what will happen. With the help of your past data, we can able to predict what will happen. So your machine is running, your machine is producing some data. So if it is producing data, how much it will produce in the next. If your machine is having some error data, if it is continues this error, how much error it will give in the after 1 month, after 2 years. So these kind of prediction we can able to do with the help of the predictive analytics. Here see, so normally you have the one data set. Your data set, whether you machinery data set. So the data set, if it is a predictive analytics in the sense, already told you, you need the past data. You need the past data. So with the help of the past data only, we can able to predict the future. So the data set with the class label. So another important thing is the pre-processing. So pre-processing in the sense, what is a pre-processing means? So before you see, our input is the data. From the data only, we are going to do all the works. So that already I told you. We have to remove any error. We have to remove any error. There should not be any outlier. There should not be any missing data. So your data should be pakka. Your data should be pakka. If you otherwise, what will happen if your data is wrong? Your perception will be wrong. Your decision will be wrong. I will tell one simple example. Suppose we are all faculty members. So in your subject, one student scored the mark 9. Okay, one student scored the mark 9 out of 100. So what we did is we asked the student, tomorrow you have to get the sign from that your parents. Okay, in the answer script. So tomorrow you get the sign from that your parents, because 9 out of 100 it is a very low marks. So you see, if the student show the marks to the parents, so definitely the parents immediately they will not sign. So definitely they will scold or they will beat the particular student. Is correct? So what the student did is on the way he had 1 0. The student on the way he had 1 0. Now what is the mark? It is 90. So original mark 9, he added 1 0, only 1 0, it is 90. Now the student shown the paper to the parents. Now you see the reaction. What is the parents' reward will be there? So definitely they will give some chocolates. Is correct? They will provide some gift because he scored the excellent mark, 90 out of 100. You see the reaction. If it is 9, he will get the beat from the parents. If he get the 90, he had 1 0. Because of the 1 0 he got some 5-star chocolate from the parents. You see the effect of the 0. So that is what your data will be very, very important, because we are dealing your machine learning algorithm, whatever you are applying the machine learning algorithm in your problem, your input data should be proper, pakka. If the data is error, your complete your perception, your final analysis will also, it leads to the error. You cannot able to, whatever you are doing the processing, everything should be waste. So that you make it is very clear about that, you have to make the data is a very good data. So this is only the pre-processing will be very, very important. So then you see that, so your data should be divided into 2 parts. Your data should be divided into 2 parts. So one is a training data, another one is a testing data. So using the training data, we have to give some of the machine learning algorithm. We have to build the model. Then we have to validate the model, how the model is behaving. Then after that, so we have to use the model in the real scenario. So whenever the new data comes, your model will predict the output. Your model will predict the output. So this is the way your predictive analytics will process. Okay, you see. So this is the COVID-19 data set. This is the COVID-19 data set. You see here, in the last column, whenever you are taking the data set, you should know some of the attributes value. So the last column is the result column. The last column is the result column. So it is your positive or negative. It is a positive or negative. So it is the result value. So that value also depends upon some existing other values. The result column values, the last column value, it is depends on some other value. See, we cannot able to enter the value positive or negative or ones. So that is based on, so what is the fever, what is the cough, what is the headache, and what is the respiration value. So based on that value only, based on that data only, we can able to find the value of what is the result, whether it is a positive or negative. So that means the final value is a depends value. For example, our salary. Your salary is that depends on your your qualification, your profession, your experience, your designation. Is correct? Your salary, we cannot give the salary 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. So that salary, your salary will be depends on your experience, your designation, as well as the your some factors are there. So that means your salary is the dependent variable, and the rest of the all other variables normally we called as the independent variables. So first you have to make it is very clear what is a dependent variable, what is a independent variable. So here you see, so you may think this is a simple one problem, one application. I have to take the same whatever I shown the same thing only. So this is the, for example, COVID data set. So here I am taking that some 12 patients data. Here I am taking the some 12 patients data. So with the help of the data, I am building the model. With the help of the data, I am building. So I give the this data is a historical data. That is I am giving to the some prediction algorithm, some supervised learning algorithm. So I build the model. So model means you don't think about that model is something, some imaginary things. It is nothing but after I am analyzing all the data, I derived one if then statement. If fever is some value and your cough you have some value and the headache is some value and the respiration also some value, then the result will be positive. Else your result will be negative. So this if then statement I derived after I am analyzing the all the historical data. You see, it is a told data, but it is not a told data. We will give more than 1000, 2000 data. So after I am analyzing, your algorithm will analyze all the data only. It will derive the model. This is the if the statement is the model. So you see now I am giving the one new data. In the new data, there is no result. New patient data, no result. Your model will say that based on the model learning, your model will say that whether it is a positive or negative. So this is the way your machine learning will algorithm will use in the predictive analytics. Okay, this is the scenario of the, so this is the process of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, this is the whatever I told you the same thing only. So this is that the pre-processing. So this is whenever you are collecting the data, you see the data may be the some having it may be the some incomplete or noisy or inconsistent. So we cannot able to proceed. So we have to do the some pre-processing. We have to do the pre-processing. So these are the steps are there. So it will take some time to explain all the things. Okay. So these are the stages. So once we collect the data, we got to clean the data and we got to make the convert the data into the same format. So according to your application, we got to reduce the data set. Then finally only we got to give the data set to the some machine learning algorithm for predicting the future. So this is the way your stages will be there. So these are the steps we will do in the pre-processing. You see already one by one, some guy asked the outlier. So this one I will tell you. So what is outlier analysis? Normally the outlier, you see the some data set. Here you see in the one CSE department, some total how many 5 faculty members are working. So 5 faculty members are working. You see here. So what is their salary? One faculty 39,000, another one is 38,000, 40,000, 37,000, another one is 2,50,000. So total in one department, 5 faculty members are working. So okay. So I am very much interested to joining the particular college. I want to know about, sir, what is the average salary? What is the average salary in your department? So how will you calculate the average salary? You add all the values divided by the total number of values. That is a normal procedure. So I am adding the 5 values. I divided by 5. I am getting the 80,000 by 80,800. Okay, this is the average salary. Then what is my intention? What I will think that, okay, it is a good college. They are giving 80,000 rupees salary as an average salary means we can join. It is a good college. What is the real scenario? But what is the real? You see, other than the one guy, 4 people, their salary is in the range of 40,000. No one is crossed even 50,000 also. They are in the salary is 40,000. 4 people. But your average is saying 80,000 because of this one data. So now this data set, the 2,50,000 is an outlier. Is correct? Because of he might be the professor. So in our calculation here you see, this is data is not a wrong data. It is a correct data only. Particular this calculation, we should not include the data. So this data, so whenever you are taking the data set, some data maybe we can call it extremely high. You see compare with other data is are in the range of 40,000, 35,000. But this is in the range of 2,50,000. So we should not use for this data for further analysis. We should remove the data. We have to remove the data, so that only it is called as an outlier. You see the one symbol method is an IQR. IQR is the one simple statistical method we can use. You see, whenever you have the data, you have to arrange the data in the sorted manner. You see, I have the one data set. The data values are 62 to 81. You see the data values, it is 62 to 81. So I want to know about the what is outlier range values. So here we have to divide the data set into the 4 quartiles. 25% is the Q1, and the 50% is Q2, that is a median, and the 75% is the Q3 and the last value. So with the help of the 3 points Q1, Q2, Q3, we are dividing the data set into 4 bins. 4 bins. So first you have to calculate the what is the IQR value. So IQR is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. So here what is Q3 is 77, Q1 is 64. So my IQR value will be 13. So one standard thumb rule is there. Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR less than the value also outlier. So Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR greater than the value also outlier. So what is Q1? So our Q1 is 64. That means 64 minus 1.5 into IQR. That means 13. Whatever we will get, that less than the value also outlier. Similarly, so Q3, that is 77 plus 1.5 into 13. Above the value also outlier. So according to the thumb rule, you see in this data set, that means the 62 to 81, below 44.5 we can consider as an outlier, or above 96.5 also we can consider as an outlier. So this is the way we can do the outlier analysis. Okay. So this is that some model how we are going to construct the predictive model. So it will be there, some long process will be there. Okay. These are the some metrics. You see some of the automotive kind of applications, some of the, now you see the some of the applications, some of the automotive sector application. In the sense, first you see the what is the some automotive application. You see nowadays. So this is the real time data analytics. So one use case is real time data analysis. You see, so whenever you are entering on the supermarket, I will tell you, once you are entering into the supermarket, your sensor in the supermarket, lot of CCTV sensor will be there. It will capture your image. First it will capture your image. So that means who is the customer? Who is the customer? First you will identify that whether it is a new customer or whether it is our regular customer. It will check with your database while you are entering into the shop. So in your that automatically, if you are a regular customer, so they will see what is your searching, what are the items normally you will purchase. So mostly, for example, mostly I will prefer buy some, for example, some dresses. So I am entering the shop. Mostly I will buy some dress, or mostly I will buy some perfumes. You assume that. So according to the my searching history, immediately they will give some notification to my mobile. So before I am re-entering into the shop, or before entering I am doing into the concerned section, immediately I will get some notification to my mobile. So with sir, this month, now we are having some of the new products. So whatever you are buying behavior earlier, whatever you are purchasing earlier, so based on that it will recommend some of the items. So these are the items are new arrived products are there. Okay, so where it is there, that will identify the location also. According to that, then then immediately you will buy some items. So then in your basket you put all the baskets. Okay, then automatically it will capture that how many items, what are the items are you purchased. Okay, so then it will say that, sir, if you are, maybe it will calculate, for example, in your basket you are having there some 4,000 rupees item you purchased. So immediately it will tell that, sir, if you are buying 5,000 rupees, we'll give some offer, we'll give some 1 kg rice free. So that kind of alert immediately you will get everything in your mobile. So everything is automatic, everything is a real time analytics only. Nobody is accessing anything, nobody is interacting with you also, everything is come automatically to your mobile. So the customer will most